Today topic microservices. Today topic is microservices. Hey, can I class it down? You're offline, right? Hey, today topic is what's the topic? Microservices. Microservices. Yeah, we'll take microservices. Coming to microservices. Last class we done with the security class and MVC classes, right? We have with MVC. But MVC file form? Model view controller which combines the both view layer and service layer, like logics and view layer both are combined and making the application a single unit, right? Make the application as what? Single unit. MVC is like making the application a single unit. Making the application as what? Single unit. If you make the application as single unit in the 2000 to that time 2000 year, that's going to good because application users are very less. Application users are more or less. Yes. See guys, you thinking like this Zomato, Swiggy and Amazon, Flipkart, these are coming recent years, 10 years back, that's it. It's not like 2000 year and all. So here they are coming like 2010, 2011 and 2008. They introduced like these years. You are starting numbers, you don't have the Swiggy, Zomato, these are right. And if application is built as a single unit, everything is built as single unit in MVC. MVC is means for every application, complete application built as a single unit. It couples like all the functionalities of the project, all the modules of the project. So if you take the vServe application as example, vServe contains what are the functionalities? Tell me. vServe we can pay water bill, property tax, what you can do? Power bill, water bill, property tax, Aadhaar card updations. So power bill, property tax, water bill, Aadhaar card updations, and tell me one more. Oh. So we have the vServe.com, right? vServe.com, you have displayed vServe multiple times, right? We have the date of birth modification, change some certificates information, right? We can apply what? Some certificates. See guys, we go for the vServe, they can go for the certificates, water bill, property tax, power bill. These all the bills we can do in vServe, right? That is basically still that application is MVC application. vServe still is what? For application, MVC application. If you go from to the vServe, sometimes if you observe, like water bill module is down because we have some issue with what? Water bill module. If the water bill module is down, water bill module is what? Down. Because complete application build as a single unit. Complete application build as a single unit. Then what happened here? Water bill is down. Then what happened here? They are not able to pay only water bill. They said like entire server is down. They said like entire server is down. If the only problem with water bill, why don't you pay the property tax and the power bill and what? Our updations and certificates modifications, right? Sir, no, man. Then what we understood in that point here? Because in the single application point of view, one module is failed, then what happened guys? When that module is failed, the entire application is failed. Entire application is failed. See, government applications, they said like wait means you will wait. They will wait like 2 days also, you will wait what you will do. So nothing, right? Are you fighting with me, sir? No, no. But same concept you can apply for what? Amazon, Flipkart. If the Amazon is not responding like few seconds, you said like go for other website, right? Myntra and Flipkart, right? Then what they will do? Business lost. So yes, in Amazon, Flipkart, one model is done. Assume that one model is not working. Entire project is stopped. Means what? Who will use the Amazon project? Eh? Who will use the Flipkart? Who will use the Myntra? And who will use what? Book My Show. Who will use what? Book My Show. That's what yes. Real time we are not at all using MS application. MS application, the problem is one model is down, entire project is down. Entire project is now down is what? Small application is not a problem. If you take the Book My Show and Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon, these all applications are what? Big small applications or big applications are. Big application means the customer's satisfaction is very important for those applications. Then only you can order multiple times in the website, right? Sir, and what is the problem with MVC? MVC is complete application, single unit, one unit. One unit. What is the problem here? The problem one is what? If one application, one module is what? Down. See here, the first one is application architecture. Application architecture. MVC's complete application is built as a single unit. If one module is failed, that's like failure impact. Failure what? Impact. Failure impact is like one application is failed, then what happened here? That one module is failed. Only that module is failed, entire project is failed. Then MVC is good for a stuff. That's what MVC is not using. MVC is not using what? Yeah. So what about microservices, sir? Microservices like independent services. Every microservice is one micro application. See, water bill is one microservice. Water bill is what? One microservice. Power bill is one microservice. Certificates one microservice. Certificates applications one microservice. And all our applications are microservices. Everything is built as microservice, guys. Microservice means what? Every service is like isolated. Isolated is what? Independent. So every microservice is what? Independent. See, Power Bill is one microservice, microservice 1, microservice 2, microservice 3, microservice 4, microservice 5, like that. How many microservices we have? 5 microservices. Assume that microservice 1 is failed. 1 is failed means only that service is failed. Remaining services happily you can use it. Happily we can use it. We got it right. Then what the point here? One service is failed, other service any effect is there or no effect? No effect. Because every service is dependent or isolated. Isolate means what? Independent. Every service is independent, guys. See guys, in real time from you guys expecting only two things. One is React, one is microservices. So one is what? React, one is what? Microservices. Sir, I don't know core Java, not required. Sir, I don't know advanced Java, not required. Sir, I don't know MVC, not required. React, real time required only how many concepts? Sir? Two. One is what? Front end, React. Back end, microservices. See here, the MVC is what complete application built as one module. Like every functionality is built as a what? One, like one process, single unit. But microservices is what? Single unit or separate services are separate services. Separate services like one model is failed, remaining model any effect is there? No. Any effect is there? No. That is called microservices. Failure impact. Application architecture and failure impact. Application architecture is a single code based. This is like different services. Failure impact is a single code base. One module is failed, remaining modules also automatically failed. Microservices, one microservices failed means any problem with the other microservices. You can happily use what? Other microservices. Happily you can use what? Other microservices. So you got it right. See guys, if you take this Lokesh batch is there, Lokesh and Seva, this batch is there. That batch is there. That batch is basically like the third point is like that is basically that is like MVC architecture. If I what happened to MVC. MVC means what happened? They all are combined and making one application. One module is failed, then what happened here? All are failed. Maybe Lokesh said like today I'm not feeling well. Then immediately Lokesh is affected, was affected, boss affected, and what? Manikanta affected and what? Vijay also affected, right? Yes, sir. It means what? One module pattern. All modules are what? Affected. Think you guys are what? Microservices, guys. Microservice house is microservice. House one dispatch is microservice. If you see this not the guys, one guy failed means what? Other guys what? Simply they come to the classes. They never depended on others. Raj is not feeling well, Raj is sleeping, then he is coming to the class, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The North team is always microservice architecture, guys. They focus on only work, they focus on only what? Individuality. What individuality. But you see, Kadamanishi is there. If Kadamanishi absent means what? Only Kadamanishi absent, all are absent. All are absent is there. Some, which one is good? Every package is good, microservice is good. Huh? The microservices. One service is failed, okay, you fail, no problem. I will not wait, I will serve the people. Serve for what? People. Got it? That's it. Cool, buddy, cool. Project in my MVC. MVC means what? Patch. Patch means what? One guy affected, one affected, all affected, all affected. First MVC. First mechanism. These days, if you see Harvey batch also, they becomes like, initial they came with MVC. Initial they came with what? MVC. That we can say Harvey and last 2, 3, 4 people are there. They come with what? MVC. That time one guy is absent, all are absent. Generally, you are following what? MVC. After others are goods, after others are classes, they said they decided MVC is not good, we should make it what? Individual. Even Hardy absent, the class guy is absent, that guy is always what? Height guy is always coming to what? Classes. Become what? Independent. But real time is never required MVC concept kind of behavior, guys. Real time, everyone is independent. Your work, you should focus, you should talk in what? Scrum up, and you are responsible. Even in real time, if you ask some question to others, they said like, what work you done? Then where you start to tell me, I help you. They said like that. It's not like we make the groupism and we need to mix like we need to build from scratch is not possible. If you ask someone like he will not tell you anything in the real time. No one will share the knowledge in the real time. They will share what they will share. If you done the 90%, 10% somewhere you start, they will help you. This is a command you use, you can move forward. It's not like you sit classroom, you come and you play gig, I will do your work. It's possible, not possible? Not possible. Better, you guys follows the MVC architecture, microservice architecture. Microservice architecture. But microservice architecture, every service is what? Isolated. Every service is what? Every service is isolated, independent. Even one service is failed. Other services will work, they'll come to the class and they'll enjoy. But Lokesh batch is what? MVC. One guy failed means one guy failed, 7, 8 people failed. All are failed. Lokesh is failed, Vasu is failed, Vasu failed, Manikanda is failed, Vijay is failed. One guy failed, all are failed. That is not MVC, guys. And we got the 2 points about the microservice and what? MVC. One is what? Application architecture. What architecture? What architecture? Single responsibility principle. Okay, fine. MVC is what? Single code based. Complete application built as a single unit. You can say simply what? Single unit. Complete application built as a single unit. One module is failed, then what happened guys? That module is failed, other module is also failed. Other modules also failed. And microservice is what? Microservice is what? Dependent or independent? 10 microservices means 10 independent services. One service is failed, no problem. You can use what? Other services happen. That is called what? Microservice architecture says, guys. We got it off? Good. Third is second one. Failure impact. Failure impact. When microservices are what? Every microservice, guys, they can double up. Okay, I'll tell you the first one. So every microservice is what? Dependent or independent? MVC is what? Dependent modules or independent modules? Dependent modules, right? Good. Okay, coming to third point here. Coming to what? Third point. You are using like Amazon. In Amazon, assume that Amazon contains one product, a number of products are there. A number of products are there. A number of products are there. If Amazon contains n number of products, guys, tell me some products names here. We have the clothes and we have the clothes, electronic items, laptops, and the crackers. Amazon contains crackers, sir. No. Yes, sir. No. Amazon contains crackers, sir. No, right? Okay, fine. They have the class, electronic items and phones, laptops. We have the multiple things. We have what? Multiple items. So you guys assume that on festival season, everyone is going to purchase the more clothes. On what season? Festival season. Every day, like assume that 100 users are like 100 users are visiting the clubs. They're visiting what? Club. They're purchasing the clubs. How many users are purchasing the clubs? 100 users are purchasing the clubs. How many users are? 100 users. 100 users are purchasing the class, agent are not 100 guys. Millions of users are purchasing the class, but the namesake I taking what? 100 users are taking the class. If you take the same thing like Diwali time, my watch time, Diwali time, is that only 100 users are using the class space, 1,000 users are using thousands. It is rapidly increasing like 100% increment. How much percentage increase guys? 100 to 1,000? 10%. Some percent increase, right? Much increased. Like gradually, immediately increased water. Page visitors, right? Increased what? Page visitor. Initially, how many users are visiting guys? 100 users. Now 100 users, so 1,000 users are. Immediately, like what happened here? Rapidly increase the load, right? Rapidly increase what? Load. This 1,000 users, 100 to 1,000 is too much increment, right? Sir, no, no. 100 to what? 1,000 small increment, big increment. See, we got the Diwali 2 days done. After Diwali 2 days done, then what happened again? Again 100 users. Again back to, see guys, 10, see, normally 1 billion users are using the application with the regular days. And festival season, then what happened here? That 1 billion becomes immediately what? 10 billions. 10 billion users are increased. Then my server is capable, to handle every day what load here? 1 billion load. My server is capable to handle what load? Yeah, 1 billion. Immediately 1 billion coming, 10 billion requests coming up. Then what? My server can handle that. Because in the year of 2000 sometimes, Pakistan India match also, the server load is 1 lakh or I think 1 lakh. But immediately 10 lakh requests are hitting to the server is crashed, the match is failed. They stop the match because of what? Tickets are not booking is what? Who will watch the cricket? The server is what? Crashed. Because 1 billion request load is there. Immediately becomes how much billions of 1 billion, 10 billions of also not possible. Generally increasement is possible, right? Yes or no? Regular days, who will watch Amazon for the class? In festival season, what? All are going for what? Amazon offers and what? They're taking the class in what? Amazon, right? Yes or no? Then load increased. When the load increase means then what happened in real time? You should increase the number of servers. You should increase what? Number of servers. On regular days, one server can handle your request because one server is capable to 1 billion requests. On festival season, 1 billion requests coming or 10 billion requests coming up. Then how many servers you have to make? 10 servers we have to make. 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, like 10 servers I'm creating. All the requests are distributed to 10 servers. Generally, how many servers we have for the clocks? One server. But on festival season, one server is there, 10 servers are running. 10 servers are running, right? They are increasing the number of servers. Increasing what? Number of servers. But increasing the number of servers is a concept of scaling, application scaling. Wait, microservices, the terms and application process very interesting actually. This is you feel like general exact real time what the process are. In regular days, how many requests can handle here? 1 billion requests, one server is enough. Then what happened? Festival season, they are going for one server 10 billion requests. Then one server, 10 servers required. 10 servers required. How many servers are? 10 servers. The increasing the number of servers is called scaling. After 2 days, then again what happened here? 9 servers are deleted from 9 servers are deleted, only one server is available. This is like now increasing the number of servers in the AWS space. We are increasing number of servers in what? AWS. AWS have the concept like pay as you go. Pay as you go, like how many servers you're using, pay that much. Regular days for the AWS, you can pay one server to billing. On festival season, 2 days, how many servers you're taking here? 10 servers. then they pay for only 2 days 10 servers amount they have to pay, not for the entire month. Not for how many days you are using that servers, guys, that much you have to pay. That much you have to pay. That is called like scaling process. Increasing the number of subscribers, normal like here we have some tiffin shops also, big tiffin shops are there. In the big tiffin shops, what they will do, regular season, one counter is per the building. And festival season, they maintain one counter, three counters, three counters. Why three counters? Because users are more. Users are more means what? And festival season increase the number of counters. Then after 2 days, 3 counters required, again one counter. Again? That is called what? Scaling. What is the scaling element? Increasing the number of servers based on the load. On regular days, dehydration, what happened here? 1 liter of water is sufficient. If you take the summer season, 1 liter of water is sufficient, 5 liters required. 5 liters. Again, winter season, then what happened? 5 liters required, half liter. That is like increasing as based on what? Load. That is called what? Scale. You see that scaling in MVC. See the scaling in what? MVC. MVC is a like service by service, entire project single module. Entire project is single unit. Entire project is single unit. You want to increase the data reach. You want to increase the servers. You want to increase servers for only specific module. Entire project you have to scale up. Entire project we have to scale. Entire project we have to scale, make it 10 servers. But entire project 10 servers required only for the cloth module. Then you go for the microservice. Microservice selective scaling is possible. What scaling possible? I can select this guy, I can scale it. Remaining all, do you have any load? Like Facebook says they are purchasing more laptops. No, that model is not required. They are purchasing kitchen items. No, that model is not required. Only cloth model I can increase. Maybe I have some Lakshmi Devi, what you can say. No? For that one, we are making increase the servers. Remaining services, any effect, any load increase? No. Selective scaling. Selective scaling is what service you want to scale, selected service, increase the number of servers. Remaining services, any effect is there? No. That is microservice architecture. Wait, how many points you done total job? 3. First one is what? Application architecture. Every microservice is independent. Every microservice is what? Independent. Every microservice is independent. Second one is what? Failure factor. Failure impact is what? One mod MVC, one module is failed, entire project is failed. Microservices means what happened here? One module is failed, only for that module is failed. Microservice means what? One module is failed, only that is failed. Remaining any effect is there? Scaling. What is the meaning of scaling? The number of servers is scaling. And festival season we have the 10 billion requests. Regular days we have the 1 billion requests. 10 billion requests to handle 10 servers required. The 2 days we will maintain the 10 servers. Remaining days you can maintain one server. But selective scaling is possible in the microservices. But my MVC is what selective scaling and then project we need to scale up. Yeah, how many points you done guys here? Yeah. Hey, here we have like almost 10 points I'll tell you today. How many points? How many points we have? 3 points. One is application architecture, one is what? Failure impact, third one is what? Scale. That is like 3 points less. So how many points? 10 points. And one more point is like fourth point. Microservice means what? Every service independent. Microservice 1, microservice 2, microservice 3, like every service is what? Dependent. Every microservice is isolated, independent services. What service is not? Independent services. So MVC means assume that MVC contains the 10 modules. How many modules are? 10 modules. 10 modules, we should write the code either using like what? Java. You can write the code using what concept? Spring Boot, right? What concept? Spring Boot. If you are interested or not interested, entire project we should build using what? Spring Boot. Entire project, your project. Entire project we should use what? Spring Boot. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Definitely enter project using Spring Boot. But observe carefully one point here. We have the microservice 1, microservice 2, microservice 3. For microservice 1, security is very important. Very important term. Security is very important. I'll go for the Spring security. Microservice 2, searching is very important. Very important. Searching. I want to use the Python. Yeah, you can use Python, no problem. Every service is dependent and independent. This microservice I can use Java, this microservice I can use Python, this microservice I can use .NET, this microservice I can use what? Groovy. And one microservice I can use what? Kotlin. Every microservice is dependent and independent.
Independent.
Independent means for different microservices I can build using different technologies. Because you all are dependent and independent. Independent, yeah. Independent services means you can build using what? Different, technologies. MVC means what? One project. One project means one technology. No, sir, this model I use time lift, this line I will use JSP, this line I will use, it's not possible. Going for what? Single technology and everything. But microservices are dependent and independent.
Independent.
This microservice I can use what? Python. That microservice I can use what? Java. One microservice I can use what? .NET. Technology stack. Different technology stack I use. And even different databases also I can use. Multiple databases. MVC, one project should connect with one database. That's all. One project should connect with what? One database. But microservices is dependent and independent.
Independent.
Huh?
Independent.
Independent means what? This microservice need to connect with store the employee details and all. Connect with what what you can say? Relational database. Oracle or MySQL. But this microservice need to work with what? Storing the multiple videos and audio files. Then we storing the video files and audio files, relational database are not good. I'm going for the NoSQL database like MongoDB and Cassandra. What I wrote? One microservice need to get the employee details, store the employee details in which format? A table format. Store the data table format means what is microservice is connected with the relational database. What database? Some
Yes, sir.
that is microservice is connected with what database? Relational database. But if you take another microservice 2, microservice 2, then what happened here? Microservice 2, they need to work with what more videos and audios. This has to, when you upload the video, they need to store the video. When you upload the image, they need to store the images. To store this module is working with what? Upload module. Microservice 2 is what? Uploads. Uploads means audio files, video files you will not store in what? Relational database. You are going for what? NoSQL database, that is for what? MongoDB. And for searching wise, they are using searching wise, they are using Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch, that is one of the database. It means what? Different databases can work, different microservices can work with what? Different databases. Because one database is not good for all operations, right? MVC means single project. Single project is connected with single database. But microservice is one project, dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent means what? One microservice need to store only what data? One microservice generally they need to work with what? A Nidhi row is there. Nidhi is like sleeping normally when you put your hand here. Then that one database is enough, relational database is enough. But second one is very dangerous. She is coming and she is what? P-latent, always sleeping. Then what? To get the more sleeping and to store the more sleeping, you require the MongoDB. It is what? Normal. Normal means what? Relational database is enough. But second goal is what? Very dangerous. Then what database required? MongoDB. Third goal is what? Managing the class. What she is doing? Managing. What they required? Elasticsearch. For all the same database is good. Because different services are responding different ways. Different services are responding what? Different services are responding what? Different ways. Then Bharati is very active today. Then what? They required no database, I think. This is only for what? Sleeping databases. One is what? Relational databases, NoSQL database, such database like that. Hey, different databases we can use, different services. Every service is dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent means what?
And you
Independent. Independent is
multiple second laws and multiple data.
right. That is the database. How many points you done? Five. Four is the meta painting. Four is the technology stack. Five is the database. Different microservices can use what? Different technologies. One microservice you can build using what? Python. One microservice you can build using what? Java. One microservice you can build what? Different microservices. Next one is what? Databases. One database is a different database. That's how many points you done total? Sixth point. How many points you done? What are the five? Retro Nidilo standard. Last year. Tell me the 5 points what we done. Online class లేకపోతే కథకలి నిలబడి గందరగోళం చేయొచ్చు క్లాస్ పనికిమాల ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ పెట్టి 5 points చెప్తాను. First point is what? Yellow point చెప్పి నేను గుర్తుందా చెప్పు ఆర్డర్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఆర్డర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫీలింగ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఫీలింగ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఏంటమ్మా? ఏంటన్నా?
Scale.
What am I? Scale. What is the scaling? What is scaling? What is this? What are you doing? Discuss na? No, no. మన ఎందుకు తెలుసా నెక్స్ట్ వన్ చెప్తానండి నెక్స్ట్ ఈ థింకింగ్ that other sir will ask me he can go there and he is discussing right I తెలియదు అట్లమ్మా నవడాలుగా I basic తెలియదు that before the meeting if anyone is there you should all go and sit with multiple people get one point instead of talking nothing talk something in the meeting the basic sense listen. Only points it up five. Okay, sixth point is like we have the deployment. See, we have the development, we develop the microservices, we develop what? Microservices, we test the microservices, we deploy the microservices. When we deploy the microservices, every application is what? Entire project is deployed once. Entire project is what? Deployed once. Entire project is deployed once. Deployed once entire project. Assume that MVC application tomorrow, after 1 week, you done one modification on the payment module. Address module, address module, inventory module, registration module, these modules there is no change. Only change in what module? Payment module. Only change in the payment module in MVC. We need to redeploy only payment module, entire project redeployed. Entire project redeployed. One small modification on one module, we need to redeploy the entire project. We need to redeploy what? Entire project. We need to redeploy the entire project. Yes. One small change in one module, we need to redeploy one specific module, entire project redeployed. See, microservices you can see. If I done the modifications on what? Payment module. If I done the modification payment module means what? Other modules redeployed, only this module redeployed. Specific redeployment. Selective redeployment is possible. We can redeploy what microservice is done the modification. We don't need to redeploy what? All the microservices, right? See guys, Amazon products contain thousands of microservices, not 1-2 microservices. One microservice, one thousands. Thousands of microservices are there, then you see some small modification to one module, we need to redeploy the entire project, MVC project. But redeploying entire project is good or not good? Not good. Who will redeploy the entire project for a small modification, one small service? In the 2000 years, there is possible, no problem. That time applications are what? Very less. Even very less people are having them using the mobiles. But these days are what? Even small kids, second class kids, they know how to place the order in Amazon. Applications are lesser or more users are? More users. What? We need to redeploy the entire deployment process. Deployment means what? Place the project in server. And this means what? We need to apply the entire application. But for small modifications on small module, we need to reapply for the small module entire project. Entire project. Microservice means what? Every microservice is dependent and independent. Independent. So you done the modification on one address module, we can reapply only orders. Remaining any change required? No. It's the deployment process. We don't need to redeploy the entire project, guys. We need to redeploy only specific microservices. That is the deployment stage. That's what, guys. Every microservice is developed, tested, deployed, integrated. Every microservice is what? Developed, tested, deployed, independently. Every microservice is like developed, deployed, and that's what every microservice is isolated. Isolated means what? Developed, tested, deployed, independently. And even see, microservices teams also different. See, one team is managing one microservices. One microservice is managed by one team. So you said like thousands of microservices, thousands of teams are taking Amazon. One team is responsible for only that microservice. That microservice is development, testing, deployment, series, and everything is done by one team. That's all. That is like what? One team is responsible for what? One microservice of this. One team is responsible for what? Microservice. Deployment. That is the deployment process. How many points you learned? 6. Okay, one is what? Application architecture. Application architecture means what? Complete application built as a single code base. One project is deployed. But here, microservice means what? Single code base or multiple microservices. For the failure impact. In MVC, one module is failed. Entire project is failed. They said like water bill is failed. They said like water bill failed, other they will fail, no, all are fail now. Failure impact. Guys, better to free in your life, you should be like, Microsoft architecture guys. If you are based in the MVC architecture, you will never success in your life. Completely fail your concept. Your load depends on what? Others. Your microservices, developed, tested, deployed, independent. Any help required, these microservices can call other microservices to get information. To get what? When the information required. Information not required, you develop, you test, you deploy. Others don't interrupt. Don't depend on others. You are not interested, then you fail. Don't fail others. You are interested, you wake up. You are, wake up. That's it. That's all. Only you. You don't depend on what? Others. Don't depend on what? Others. Principal micro. Scaling. Regular days 1 billion requests are coming, one server is handling the load. But festival season 1 billion requests coming at 10 billion servers. Increase the number of servers. How many servers should increase? 10 servers increase means what? 10 servers are increased. Then what happened? How many days? 2 days. After 2 days, we are using them as well. Class very less is normal users, right? Normal days means again normal one server users. Selective scaling is possible. What microservice scale increase, they can go for the microservice. Understand they are purchasing some, products like, they in Dasra they believe like, one electronic item will come to the home, something like that. So, man, one of my friend, their home, all items are there. Still they go to, like, sorry, this one. Still they went to, electronic items and Bajaj. Yeah, Bajaj. Bajaj. What they purchased, that day. What they purchased, I don't know. That is really. Grinder. They purchased grinders. Grinder already there now. No, Aniya, she said like, Aniya 10 members are came, we required the big grinder Aniya, that day we required what? Already on small grinder is there, they had purchased what? One more bit. It means more people will focus on what? Electronic items. Only items, ma'am.
Electronic items.
If already grinder is there, Aniya, that is only for the 5 people or max, but sometimes 10 people are coming and facing issues. Then what you will do? After 10 people are one day they kill it, then what? They will return to nature, they return to what? Select to pay as you go is not possible. Not possible. Remind is a range of small land. In your career? Small land. Small land says gas per strike is Banji. How do you get from select to scale unit. On what module high demand is there, that module increase number of servers. Remaining modules, any effect is there? No. And technology stack. Different microservices can do different technologies. And MVC is entire project built using one technology. And databases. Because all databases, like one database not fit for all operations. Because one microservice is talking about the login and registration. To store the data in the relational database. Tables format, employee details. But one is upload microservice. So uploading the videos and audios, I need to maintain. Go for what database here? MongoDB. 6 1 is what? Deployment. Deployment is what? Small modification, we deploy only that module and then project up. Entire project. But MVC microservice means what? Specific. That's 6.3. Here's the point. The point number 1. Completed point. Deployment to technology stack to databases to scaling applications, architecture, Visa architecture, and Microsoft architecture. How many points you got?
Yes.
6. How many points, mark? 6. Very important. Very important. Companies are using microservices only. Companies are using what? Companies are using microservices. Companies are using what, microservices. Hey, they know solid, right? What is solid here? Solid principles, solid principles. Solid principles, Yeah, if you don't know, you can check the solid principles. In solid, yes, S means what? Single responsibility principle. Single responsibility principle. A microservices, one microservice responsible for one operation. That is called single responsibility principle. One microservice is responsible for how many operations, sir? If one microservice is responsible for how many operations, sir? One operation. That is called what principle here? Single responsibility principle. Microservice follows like in the solid S principle. What is sir? Single what? Responsibility principle. That is called like hey, please cross check what is solid and solid of such pictures because namely that is a fancy question. Tell me about solid principle. Tell me about what? Solid. Tell me about the triangle. Tell me about some principles we have. But most important thing is solid. What is the S full form? Single responsibility principle. One microservice is responsible for how many operations, sir? One microservice is responsible for what? One operation. That is called what? Single responsibility principle. What is microservices? What is microservice? What is microservice? What is microservice? What is microservice? One microservice is handle what? One business functionality. One microservice handle what? Single responsibility principle. It means one microservice can handle what? One business functionality. In like what is microservice means? One microservice can handle what? One business functionality. Every microservice is what? Isolated. Every microservice is what? Isolated. And microservice is what? Developed, tested, deployed independently. Microservice is nothing but a micro application. Microservice is nothing but what? Micro application. How many points I told you? Almost 4 points. Tell me what microservice. What is microservices? Huh? One microservice is responsible for how many operations? One microservice is responsible for one business functionality. And every microservice is what? Isolated. Every microservice is what? Isolated. Next one is what? Huh? Every microservice is what? Deployed. Developed, tested, deployed independently. Every microservice is what? Micro application. One microservice means one micro application. One microservice means what? One micro. Hey, these are the points, please. How many points you done? 6. These are the main points. These are what? Main points. But the first one is application architecture, failure impact, state, technology stack, database, deployment process. These are the main points. And some more points we have. Which application maintenance becomes easy? Application maintenance. Which application maintenance means what? Maintenance action. Application what? Maintenance. What is the maintenance? See, car purchasing maybe it will take 10 lakhs price. But car maintenance 10 years it will invest like almost like 10 to 20 lakhs. So, yes, purchasing is 10 lakhs. Project building cost like something like project development cost is 1 crore, maintenance cost is 2 crores. Development is how many times? Yeah, 1 time. Maintenance is what? Lifetime maintenance. Way to maintain application. Maintenance of the MVC application is easy or difficult? Difficult because I need to see. We have the Lokesh batch, right? How many people are in the Lokesh batch? 5, 6 people. Lokesh, tell me names. Lokesh, Basu. Basu. Lokesh, Basu. Manikanta. I think Manikanta is in the online. Yeah, Manikesh, Manikanta. This all like maintaining like this group is easy and difficult. Maintaining the group is easy and difficult. You need to maintain 1 people or 6 or 7 people. 10 people you need to maintain. Maintenance is what? Difficult. Maintenance is what? Difficult. But microservices is independent. I need to maintain only also. One team maintenance like only also. Any problem is there? Maintenance is a difficult task. Because they need to focus on only specific functionality. But MVC means what? Specific functionality and that project task. Entire project. Then what happened? Application maintenance becomes what? Is it difficult task? Difficult in where? Easy in application maintenance be okay. Not that much easy because microservices are very dangerous. But okay. But maintenance means one person is very simple, right? You should have what entire process. Covered entire. There's application maintenance. And one more thing is an issue track. We have some error, some issue in one module. If you keep the Lokesh, Vasu, Manikanta, Vijay, these all the people, identifying the issue is very difficult. Project is failed, we got the issue, we don't know where we got the issue, right? Maybe that is issue because of Lokesh, because of what? Vasu, because of Vasu, we don't know. Yes or no? Yeah. But issue tracking, also is easy, right? Because one microservice I can easily identify where the issue is going and I need to debug only this microservice. Issue tracking where is good? Microservice is good, service is good. Jyoti మీరు మాట్లాడేది చల్లగా వస్తుంది ఈ చల్లగాలిలో issue tracking. 10 modules are there, this issue identification is a difficult task. 1.1% is there. Issue identification is what? Difficult is easy. Application maintenance is in issue tracking is in microservices. Even onboarding the new developers. Onboarding what? New developers. If I take the, Mangamai, my project, assume my MVC project. MVC project is small project, the entire project single will turn. Then understand that project by Mangamai is possible, not possible. Only Mangamai, if you take the Ranjit. When I take the Ranjit my MVC project, you need to understand only specific model, entire project. That is possible, not possible. Onboarding the new developers is very headache guys that time. They come Candy Maxima, they done some array examples and filter examples, pattern examples. They recruit you. They come with the team. I need to explain the MVC. There's a small project, big project. That much is short of brain. This much big project. Injection possible, not possible. Not possible. Onboarding the new developers very headache in MVC. That's what yes, MVC project that time developers are very very crucial role because more the developers have the you need to understand only microservice. Then what? I can take the Bharat, I can explain like microservices, that's it. So by Bharat, this is my microservice, you need a response for this operation, that's all. It's a matter of 2 days. To understand the project to build the REST APIs. Everything is what? Onboarding the new developer is a difficult task. Very difficult to test. Very difficult. See, application maintenance, second one is what? Application maintenance. Issue tracking is very difficult. Yeah, that's all this. That's all for the. Yes. Got it right? Yeah, you write that points.